Quick follow-up on the FlipSky 6.6 Dual ESC. Before I get to this, I swapped the motors from 235 to 150, and those were 6355. This is 6374. Much more power, better startup. I'll probably consume less energy because it's a lower kV, but let's get to the ESC. So the ESC, no issues so far. I have close to 250 miles so far, and everything works as it should. Actually, like much better, bigger motors, better startup. Overall, the system works much better. I used to get between 9-10 miles in range. Now I should get much more range. Now let's look at the FlipSky ESC. No issues so far. Everything works super well. It's definitely a good ESC to buy. I definitely recommend this product. Let's compare it to this ESC. I just got it recently, like a week or two ago, and I haven't set it up yet. I just looked over it. Have the instruction here, cables, the switch, and some more cables. So here's the Unity. You have the connectors here on the bottom, and it came in a plastic bag. So let's compare just size of the Unity with Dual FlipSky. This ESC is so much smaller, right? And I really like the 100 amp continuous discharge. Now I forgot how much this discharge is, 80 or whatever, or 90 amps. I forgot. I have to double check on their website. But what I like about this ESC is that form factor, much smaller, much more compact, so easier to place an enclosure when you build your DIY skateboard. Now the parts, and I like the design overall, looks very cool. Now I like this rubber finish, right? And I like the connector, how they design them. It's kind of hard to close them. The part I don't like is that this rubber, it's very flimsy and comes off and feels cheap, and tracks all the dust and everything that you have on your table when you work. So it's similar to those cheap Chinese watch straps. But overall, I like the ESC. I haven't set it up. It has a lot of, I saw the video, has a lot of cool settings, and you can set up entire speed controller as one unit, and it's a dual, and it has a lot of cool features. But the thing that concerns me compared to this ESC, this one I ridden for 250 miles, and for 2 months that I had it, no issues whatsoever. Everything works. It's a bulletproof ESC, and I pushed it close to 100 amps. Now look at this ESC. Just look at the connectors. These connectors can probably withstand 15-20 amps continuous. So I'm concerned about the rating. This small wires, this is like 14 gauge. Let me actually see if it's written. Yeah, it's 14 gauge wires. I mean, the quality, it's very good, and I have to remove this completely to compare the hardware. Also the C-type connector, which is amazing, but look at this. Look at the hardware. Look at the MOSFETs, right? Look at the solder, and look at the 10 gauge wire, and here is 8 gauge wire on this connector. So this is a beast. This actually can definitely pull continuous a lot of amps. Now this speed controller, once it's gonna heat up, even though it has a big heatsink, if you have it exposed to outside air and air circulates around, so it's gonna cool off. But if this is encased in your enclosure, I don't know how this is gonna work. Even though I saw Inertian video, their vlog, it's pretty cool. Maybe it's gonna work super well, I don't know. But hardware wise, when you look at these tiny connectors and tiny wires, and comparing to Dual FlipSky, I would go with this. Also price wise, I forgot how much is this. Probably was 280, 270, and they dropped the price a little bit. Now this speed control's on sale now for 250 bucks, so it's definitely a good deal. So if you're pulling 60 to 80 amps, let's say for I mean 60 amp continuous and maybe 80 amps for like 10 seconds, then definitely this is the way to go. But if you're looking for a super powerful system, 100 amp continuous, spikes higher than that, this is the way to go. It might be a Christmas sale, so definitely check it out for DIY. And if you're looking for speed and for crazy torque, this is the way to go. I mounted some shed lights on the top, and I think this actually works much easier. The water doesn't get here, and it's easy to operate the lights, and it's very easy to remove them. I also mounted GoPro mount, so I can put an extra light, 2 lights on the side, or I can put my GoPro on the front. So the only thing that I have to do is to put the case back, paint the rims black to match the front, and I'm thinking actually to make another compartment here. So let's say if I want to get more range, I can add more cells here, just like quickly connect and have the entire board from front to back enclosed and have extra range. The board is about 16-17 pounds, maybe a little bit more, so definitely a cool setup. Now what I'm planning to do in the future video is get 7-inch tires, maybe 6.5, and make a new mount that's shorter, bring the motors in, then the board is going to be perfect. Alright guys, so this is a speed controller, definitely check it out. It's definitely a great buy. I really like it. I forgot to mention before I end up the video, I used a GT2B remote. Now I got this new enclosure, and it's a newer version of GT2B remote. I used it in the past. This is the remote I got from Kyle NYC. I would not use this in New York. I lose connection. It's really bad. If I turn off the remote first, the board will just engage and just leave. So I don't know why it does that. These are the tools I always have with me: a Leatherman Wave T-tool, or if I have boosted, I have this boosted tool and the Leatherman. Very handy tool. Definitely should have one if you ride electric skateboards. Very handy. You can do a lot of stuff with it. This new enclosure I just put together, it's really cool. I like the sparkle, but this one has here the edge, the notch, and it really feels comfortable to brake and to accelerate. I also took the spring and I put a thicker, stronger spring, so it's more tension, which feels much better. And when you brake, you can use your both fingers, and that feels very comfortable in the hand. Stay tuned for the next video. Place any comments or questions if you have. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you happy holidays, and I'll see you next video.